Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. If you're new here, my name is Elena and I am the homeschooling mama to 3 kiddos. Here on the channel we talk about everything from homeschooling to homemaking and all the things in between. Today we're going to talk a little bit about our homeschool and our summer plans. Now I realize it is already mid to maybe a quarter way through July at the time that this video is going to come up, but this summer we took it a little bit slower, and instead of just taking like 1 to 2 weeks off of school, we've kind of stretched that out to 3 to 4 weeks off of school, and it's just been really good for us. I think we needed a good chunk, a good break, but we can see that we slowly need to start getting back into some sort of routine. It just works better for us. So what we have been working on the past couple of weeks for our summer is, one was just stopping school and not doing any assignments or book work or anything like that. We were just enjoying some time. My husband took a couple days off of work, and then we had some really good quality family time. We also started a little bit of gardening, and by little I mean we just kind of really worked on pulling weeds, and we planted a couple little things. We've got some little seedlings going, so we just kind of eased our way back into summer. But like I'm saying, we are ready to get back in, or at least mama is ready and starting to see in the kiddos that they need a little bit more structure to their days. So what we do typically for summer school, is we will take a few days out of the week and do some sort of school type assignments that day. So for this year, what I'm thinking we're going to do for summer is, for my 2 older kids, we are going to be finishing up their math books. They did not complete their math workbooks, and I'm not typically big on having to complete an entire workbook. Things are a little bit different for my high schooler. Last year was our first full year of completing high school, and if you wanted to see what we ended up picking for curriculum for our 9th grade year, I will link that video for you up in the cards so you can take a look at that if you have someone that is going into high school years. We are prepping for our 10th grade year, and so I'm still gathering the rest of his curriculum for that year, but we've pretty much got it all picked out. It's just a matter of purchasing now and getting it into the home. But once that all happens, I will record the curriculum for each of my kids and the grade levels we're in once we get it all into the home. But like I was saying, for my older 2 kiddos, they use Math-U-See, and we really like this program for them. It works really well for them. I will get to my youngest, who does not use Math-U-See, and what his plan is for math. But for my older 2, they're going to just kind of complete out their math workbooks and continue working on them so they don't lose any of the math skills over the summer break. So instead of doing 2 or more pages, which they do during their school year, I'm just going to ask them to do at least 1 page of math 3 times a week. Now at this point in time, I'm letting it be up to them which 3 days they'd like to do that single page of math. I find that just kind of giving them that freedom to first choose works out really well for us. Kind of giving them the responsibility of knowing that they have this amount of work to do and they can pick, kind of giving them responsibility of their schedule. So for the beginning of our summer, I'm going to let them choose which 3 days they want to do it. They can do all 3 pages in one day, or they can pick a 1 page a day type situation, but I'm going to let them do that, and then we'll take that and see how it goes. That we also try to do some of those things during the school year where I give them a little bit more responsibility over their schedule, but if I see that it's not working, we'll come back together and kind of tweak the schedule and figure out a better way for them. But I really try hard to keep my kids feeling like they are choosing and creating their own schedule. 1, because I want them to have a say in their schooling, but 2, I feel like it's a good way to teach responsibility of learning how to manage your time and manage your responsibilities. At least that's what the goal is. They will be doing some math throughout the summer, and like I said, we are just aiming to do school a couple of times a week. We won't be doing it the full week, the full work week for summer. Typically for our school years also, we try to do a 4-day schedule, and then the 5th day is when we do field trips or we run errands or we have things like that we have to do. I will talk about that later in one of our other, as we get closer for our school year, and how that scheduling works out for us, because there are exceptions and things like that to the schedule. But for summer, again, just a couple of days out of the week. I'm aiming for 3, but quite honestly, I would be good with just 2. We will need to have a errands day where we go out and run any errands that we need to do. Errands can be things like going grocery shopping or having to go to the post office, that kind of stuff, or it could also include field trips if we want to go to the library, or if we want to have a park day or something like that. Now, it has warmed up extremely quickly. It feels like one week it was good weather and then the next week it was just hot. So we're gonna play it by ear on the park days, but I'm hoping that we will be able to get out there either later in the evenings or early in the mornings. The other thing that we're going to be doing or getting back to doing is a more formal Bible study. So during the school year, we do what I like to call Bible and breakfast time, and that is just that, was when we are doing our Bible study over breakfast. So I will prep breakfast for us and then sit down and I will be reading to the kiddos as they eat their breakfast. I am going to be rotating through our Bible study, though we had been working through Apologia's Who is My Neighbor. This was something that we started later in the school year. We had wrapped up volume 2 and then just jumped right into volume 3. So we will be working in this. I have the workbook or the reading book here, and it's got most of it. This is what I'll read from as the mom, right? Or as the parent. I read this from them, and then my older 2 have 2 different kinds of journals that they use. So there is a junior type notebook, and then there is just the regular notebooking journal. So those are for my older 2. My daughter will be in 4th grade, and then like I mentioned, my son will be notebooks fell over. My son will be in 10th, and it's just something to keep them active and make sure that they're kind of digesting the information that we read. And I really like this book because we have had some really great conversations from this study, not just this volume, but all of them. So we started with volume 1. I will put a picture up for you here so you can see, and then we worked our way down to volume 2, and like I said, we're on volume 3 now, and each of these books has given us some really good conversations, not just as we're reading the book, but even years later, we'll come back and talk about something that we've learned in there. So I really like this form of study, and I like that we can do it all together at the kitchen table. Now for my youngest, I just have him in the coloring book. Each of the volumes comes or has a coloring book available to you. So we just have him do this, or sometimes he will just draw on his own. I leave it up to him. I don't really have him in the formal notebook yet because he is not quite ready for that. It's not something that will hold his attention or that he enjoys right now. And I don't want Bible study to be something that he dreads doing. I really want him to be something that he comes to and knows that we study this as a family, and that this is something where he can ask questions or just enjoy, really. So I just give him the coloring book and let him color in there. The other family subject, though, that we will be doing this summer is diving into the good and the beautiful U.S. Constitution and government. So this came out this last school year, and we purchased it when it came out, but we didn't get a chance to start it. So I thought starting it in the summertime would be a great time. We've just had our Independence Day. At the time of filming, we actually just had it this past week, but by the time this video comes out, it'll be a couple weeks later. So it'll be a good time for us to get started on this and go through it. I did buy the entire kit. So for I think it's like an extended thing you can do. You can buy the Mystery on Constitution Island. So this will be for my older son. And then there is a younger U.S. Constitution activity book. And then I bought 2 journals for my older 2 children, the U.S. Constitution Student Journal. So I think that we will do this, like I said, 2 to 3 times a week. Now, if we do this just twice a week, it will have us finishing in the school year, because it takes about 16 weeks if you do it twice a week. Now, because we are aiming to do 2 to 3 times a week, we may finish it up sooner, but I want to give us the flexibility. So if we do the lessons just twice a week, we'll end right around Veterans Day for us. In the US here, Veterans Day is in November, and so we will just be into our fall schedule, and I think that that would be a perfect time to finish off the study. So I'm not too concerned with how long it will take us to get through. I just really want to go through this together with them. The very last thing that we're going to do for summer, I don't have a set curriculum for, and I kind of like it that way, is we're going to continue on with our gardening. I do have some books that we've been checking out. I've checked a few books out from the library from them on gardening. We walked through a couple of little plants with my youngers, planting seeds and watching it. One of the tools that we have been using I really love this Back to the Roots company. They typically will have like STEM projects for your youngers that you can do. So this one was a watermelon grow kit, and it came with this little, the packaging itself came with this little ruler and then places for you to write down how big your watermelon seed was growing, the sprout from it, and it gave you lots of different activities. It told you a little blurb about watermelon farming and how it began, or where we believe the first watermelons originated from, and just a little blurb about different types of watermelons. So that was fun for them to kind of see and read about. So we were just continuing on in our gardening and just having them come out with me as much as I can, replanting or repotting the seedlings that did sprout up, and just taking care of our plants and watching and seeing, and God willing, being able to grow something. So we're still hoping and praying that the garden becomes fruitful for us. But yeah, as of right now, we're still in there. I do have some gardening videos if you want to see our progress in that as well. Now for my younger son, because his schooling is a little bit different, I kind of just meet him at the level he's at. Really, we try to do that with all our kiddos, right? I think that's part of some of the beauty of homeschooling, is being able to meet your children where they're at and then expand on that. So my youngest, if you are not familiar with our channel, is on the autism spectrum. So school for him probably looks a little bit different, but it is just picking what he thrives from. And so far, this last year we were kind of calling it a kinder first hybrid, because some areas he was really at the first grade level, and some we were still working on skills that were like kinder level. And so that's what I mean by just meeting him where he's at. For summer, we are going to give them some math. This last year we did Math Made Fun by the Moffat Girls on Teachers Pay Teachers, and I really love that website, especially for him, because I found with him that he gets bored very quickly of the same curriculum. So I need to have multiple curriculum, different types of curriculum that are teaching the same thing, but that way we can interchange the programs and still get the same foundations. I hope that this makes sense. If not, you may want to check out our Kinder First curriculum so you can see kind of more what I'm talking about, and then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can see what we've got coming up for this next year for him. For summer though, I'm going to just kind of be picking and choosing math pages to do for him, because I have found at the end of this last school year that he just flew through the concepts of math, and he was just didn't need all of the extra pages that were there. So I did give him some to kind of make sure that we had that foundation concrete, and that he really did truly understand what was happening and he really understood the concept of it. But once I was pretty confident that he had that down, we were able to move on. So we're just going to keep building on that and doing a couple worksheets and hands-on things with him using the Moffat Girls Math Made Fun. But I don't have a ton printed out because, like I said, we're just kind of taking it moment by moment and seeing what things he needs. I also have a video here, an older video on the channel of me printing out a Moffat Girls Center for him. That was when I was printing out more things. So if you would like to see that, I will link that in the cards for you as well. But like I said, that's when I was printing out more things, but still not printing every single paper, because it is a lot of printing, but it is a lot of fun stuff to do. There's a lot of hands-on activities that she includes with it, and that's what makes it so great for us. The other thing that we're working on, not just with him, I think as a family, is kind of our responsibilities here as a family. So chores and how we can be a blessing to our home, meaning how keeping our home neat and tidy and in somewhat of good order is a blessing, not just to us, but a way to say thanks to God for all that He's given us. And so we've kind of just been talking more about that. There's been no formal like sit down curriculum style thing that we're doing. It's just stuff that we've been bringing up to our kiddos and trying to implement more and more with them. So we have revamped some chore charts, and we have set aside reminders and things of what their responsibilities here at home are and how we expect them to pitch in and help with the family. For my youngest son, a lot of that looks like very visual schedules. I find that those help for him. So we have some visual schedule task cards and stuff that we use. So I will be setting that up for him. Currently we have a weekly one, but I want to kind of revamp and give new life to the visual schedules that we have been using for him, just to keep it fresh for him, because like I said, that kind of stuff piques his interest again and then keeps him motivated to continue on doing so. If you want to know more about that, if you want to see how I set this up, let me know in the comments down below so that I can do maybe a little bit more in-depth video on how we're on what our schedules actually are looking like and how we're utilizing them in the summer break. And that is really it. I say that as it, but I feel like that was a lot. It really isn't. It's just math, constitution, and government that we're going to be doing 2 to 3 times a week. And then just on the daily, we have garden duties, chore duties, and that kind of stuff, just household blessing things that we're doing. And that's it. I just want to make sure that we're getting in a little bit of rotation here and there of schooling. And I really like that we are continuing on with Bible study, because I want that to be something that is not just a school subject. That is just more of a life subject for us. Something that our family feels we need throughout the year, not just the school year. So that is it for me and our summer schedule. I hope that this video was useful for you, or at least entertaining. If you like this video, would you be sure to give it a thumbs up so I know what kind of content you're looking for here on the channel. And let me know down below if you have a summer schedule set up, or if you were just going with the flow, because some summers are like that too, and those are so great. Thanks so much for watching, and if you haven't heard, please know that you are deeply and truly loved and so appreciated. Thanks again for watching.